Silica. Is it worth a buy? Let's read the words of the developer. Silica is a crossover FPS and RTS where up to 3 factions battle for control over the planet of Balayam. Lead from above as commander or experience the action firsthand, either alone or with friends. Join one of 2 human armies or hunt them down as the territorial aliens. Now guys, this game is freaking awesome. It's had my attention pretty much every evening this week. It actually has every evening this week I've been playing this. It's just been great. It's a RTS game, but it's not at the same time. As it says, it's a crossover. So you play as an RTS or as a first person. The way it works is someone hosts the game, chooses one of the 4. It's in early access, by the way. Quite early access. You choose the map, and then you choose what the army's going to be. Is it human v human, humans v aliens, or humans v aliens? That mixes it up a little bit. You then all join whichever faction you want to be. And when you come to join, one of yous is the actual commander. Now that means he's the RTS player. And it plays just like an RTS. You have to build buildings, build units, and watch for the enemy incursions and set up your base and everything like that. And you command the other units on the ground by clicking on them and setting a waypoint for them. Now the other units will be AI controlled unless there's players in. If you're a player in that game, you can take control of any of the vehicles that you want that's got an AI in them. So if you need a missile tank, you'll just tell the commander, I need a missile boat, and he'll build a missile boat. You go and get in it, and then off you go. Or the commander who sees way more of the battlefield from his bird's eye view, he might select a few of you and say, right, I want these all to go up there. So you'll get a waypoint on your screen and you head up there. And guys, the attention to detail in this game, bearing in mind it's been created by one guy, but Bohemia Interactive are publishing it now. So we'll see where this goes. I'm sure there'll be more people working on this now because it's hugely popular on Steam. There's tons of people bought it. It's currently very positive, and that's because it's fucking awesome. That's why. There's nothing like this that I've played. There's a few games tried to do this, but nothing like Silica out there. This is just sublime when you're playing it. It's just, there's a lot wrong with it, which I'm going to come to, but there's so much more right with it that you can really be positive about feeling that this game's going to be an absolute banger when it comes out. For example, the harvesters. The pathfinding on the AI is absolutely atrocious on the harvesters. I mean, if you put the harvest station too close to another building, it does like a 1,000,000-point turn, just a freaking turn to get it in there. But if you put it out in the open, it's pretty good, and the AI will go and farm all the... I nearly said Tiberium there, or spice, because it looks very much like Dune. But there's resource fields out there, and the harvester goes and does that. But he's the great thing, guys. You can get in that harvester as a player, and the way you get in is so cool. You go underneath it, and you press use on the bottom, and this drawbridge kind of door comes down. You run up these steps, you get inside, and then inside you go up a lift, round some railings that get you on the outside of the actual harvester, up across the top and into the actual driver's seat, and you can efficiently mine way better than the AI to boost your resources for your commander to build more defenses, vehicles and stuff like that. So it's very handy if you've got a decent amount of people on your team to get in a harvester and do this very early doors to get a bit of an advantage on the resource gathering. Now once you've built up your research buildings and you've started researching, you can build heavy vehicle factories and super heavy vehicle, ultra heavy vehicle factories, or whatever the hell they're called, and you can roll out a whole load of shit as the human players. You've got rail tanks, hover tanks, armored quads, you've got fast quads, you've got these rocket launchers, which they need a nerf, to be honest, but they're great fun. And the whole game has a day-night cycle, guys. Get this, it has a day-night cycle. And as an actual commando player, you can go and change your class. You can be a rocket grenadier, sniper, or whatever, and you can just get in a vehicle, drive along, get out wherever you want, do some pot shots, or whatever you want. So there's so much to do in this game. But when the night comes, and you see your tanks flying across the plains in formation with other players heading for an assault on the enemy base, it is just awesome. It's just so fucking good to see all this. It looks fantastic, and when the tracers light up the sky and then you get incoming coming back, it's just so good, this game. The immersion is It's off the scale, guys. Absolutely off the scale. You play as the aliens as well. They're like the Zerg of StarCraft. They have a completely different infrastructure, obviously, to the humans, and lots of different units, from huge Goliath beast bugs that will crush light vehicles to scorpions. You can burrow underground in the little crab units. There's just so much there, but I do feel that the aliens are a little bit underpowered at the minute. The game needs a lot of balancing, but it's in early access, so who cares? It's going to get loads and loads and loads of quality of life. There's a roadmap just come out which looks damn impressive of what they're going to add to this game over the course of the early access. I cannot wait to see this game just develop more and more and more, because at the moment there's I'm going to tell you what I think's wrong with it at the minute. The first thing it needs is formations, so that you can group AI units together and they'll all move at the same speed, the speed of the slowest unit. That's absolutely essential. Ashes of the Singularity did that fantastic with the army button, where you can just create an army and they all get into formation and just go with the slowest unit. It needs something like that. Also, it has, at this moment in time, unlimited range on the weapons, which is a bit... I mean, especially with the rockets, you can just... our base was being hit from their base last night from rockets. It was just stupid. There should be a range on when the missiles just run out of juice and just start falling. Or also maybe the further you fire them away, the less damage they do. So it needs nerfing like that. And I believe that the aliens need something more mid-range that's faster. I mean, they have these hunters that are really quick, but they're useless. They couldn't even scratch my back, let alone kill anything. Absolute rubbish unit. They need a massive boost. But, they're very fast, so there's a bit of a trade-off there. But they're currently pretty useless. They're good early game. Very, very early game. But after about 20 minutes, that's it. Just absolutely pointless unit. So there needs to be some balancing going on here. The humans just feel a lot overpowered. But I don't really want to see the humans nerfed. I would rather see the aliens buffed, because it is quite nice, apart from obviously the rockets, which I've already mentioned. They need sorting out. I also don't like the teleportation. At this moment in time, you can teleport anywhere onto the map where you have line of sight. So if I am in my base as a human player and we have a tank miles across the battlefield, I can teleport right next to that, which is bullshit, because you can pretty much teleport to the enemy base. Which, why do that? Why do that? I mean, the game is hyper immersive at the minute. If you get killed, all right, you have to drive back over there again. And yes, some of the maps are big, but if you have a lot of people playing it, it's a bit of an adventure getting there, because you'll run into trouble. You might run into a little skirmish on the way. Just leave it. I don't believe that this game needs to teleports, or at least give us the option to switch teleports off when we're doing a game setup. That would be cool as well. AI pathfinding is something that needs a massive amount of work, and there needs to be quality of life things. There's no keybinds at the minute. That's essential. There's a lot of people complaining about that. I'm one of them. We need keybinds. It should be the first thing you do on a PC game like this. You need keybinds. Not everybody uses WSAD. Not everybody can, because of disability reasons. Let us rebind the keys. There's not a lot of keys in this game. I'm sure it won't take that long, but let's do some keybinds on the game as well. Everything else that I wanted changing is pretty much covered in the roadmap and other things that the developers have put out on the forums. So I'm not going to go into too much detail with that, but there is problems with the game. There is a few frame drops in the game as well, and a lot of the time when I'm playing it, I get very low frames a second. You don't feel it that much until you get a big frame drop, but it still needs massive optimization. But overall, the good massively outweighs the bad. It's a highly immersive experience, really good fun. Even if you can only get 3 or 4 people together, it's good fun. But there's games out there with 30 players in. There's no voice comms yet in the game, which is a bit of a shame. But it's definitely worth a buy this. Definitely worth picking up. Diving into a game, you'll have a blast with it if you can overlook the clunky earliness that this game is currently in. I should mention that it also has single player. You can play again as the commander, or you can play as one of the units, but the AI of the enemy is just not good enough at the minute. You won't really be fulfilled playing this game in single player. It needs a big boost in single player. It's pretty much where it is now at this moment in time multiplayer, and it's a great multiplayer game. So there you go, guys. Silica is out now in early access. I think it's £17 something on Steam. Well worth a buy if you're into RTS or tank driving or even just shooting. It's a great strategy game, but bear in mind, as I've just said, it's more suited to multiplayer co-op than anything else at this moment in time. But it has huge potential and could easily, in the current climate, hit Game of the Year if it all comes together nicely with this roadmap.